Hello there. New Vein coming to you live for day 10 of the 365 days of live with New. So welcome. I'm gonna wait a little bit to see if anybody jumps on live. I know that it's hard to jump on live when you don't know when I'm going live, but as of right now, this is what works. I usually am pretty sporadic in terms of my day. When I feel like doing something, I really just try to lean into listening to my sacral. So that is why right now I don't have a set schedule. It was hard enough for me to decide to do this challenge every day, right? That commitment, that devotion every day. And that was challenging enough. So committing to a time is going to be next level. So we are going to give ourselves some grace, and I'm going to not be hard on myself for not being able to show up and commit to a specific time. So I hope if there's anything like that in your life that you are able to do the same. So for me, I am just chilling here today. And something that I realized, like before we start the live, in terms of what I'm going to share, I realized that on the days where I feel energetic, I feel like I'm in this space of working, like I'm the CEO of my business and I'm like creating and thinking and ideas are coming and flowing. I realize that I like to be in my office. I like to stand up. I have a standing desk and I like to work that way. But on the days like today, and it is during my luteal phase, I know I haven't really touched too much on the phases of if you're a woman or if you go through phases and through the menstrual cycle still, this applies to you. I have not touched upon that in terms of a live, but I was going to do that as the live today, but something else came up that was even more present for me, so I'm going to do that. But I am in my luteal phase, so I'm starting last night, I was tuning into my body and I was feeling really tired, like I was slowly winding down. And so today I am doing my live for you and me, sitting down, chilling in my dining room. And I have my little cup of tea here, and I just wanted to also share what is on this cup. It's I, and then a donut, and then care. And some people may get that, and some people might not, but I got this as a gift when I was a teacher, and the way you read it is, I do not care. And I'm like, oh my God, that is such, like, for the right people, that is just the message we need, right? To not care, to really put ourselves first, to think about our needs first so that we can best show up in abundance with our cup overflowing. So that is that. And is it also very warm, so I'm able to put my hands on here because my hands, they just get the coldest out of all parts of my body. So anyway, welcome to today's live. I am so excited for today because I am doing something that I, again, have been dreaming of doing. And I've actually started this with my siblings, but I've always wanted to start this with my community. And this year I'm building community, whether you're saying hi to me or not, or whether you're just watching on the sidelines, anything is great, but I want to start building this Go Me Club, okay? Go Me. So it's, in a sense, it is a celebration club where you come to celebrate yourself. And I can't begin to emphasize the power and the magic that comes from celebration. If you have been following me for a while now, you know that I grew up in a Hmong community, an Asian community, very close-knit, very sheltered, and we are a very communal culture where we really value and look up to people around us, and we really seek acceptance and validation from the people around us. And so we look externally to the people around us, our parents, our relatives, for them to really validate who we are, validate the things that we have done well, and then we take that as evidence of what we are good at and what we do well and what we should be celebrated for. And I grew up with my dad being the man of the house. He was very strict on us going to school and getting good grades, right? Because we were immigrants. They wanted us to be successful here in the United States. Hello, if you are joining me live, leave me a comment, say hi. I'm on my phone today, so I should be able to see your comments. Yeah, so my dad was very strict, and he, the way he grew up, he also didn't receive that external validation from his parents of like whenever he did something well, nothing was said, right? He was not celebrated. You were just expected to continually grow and continually get better, and that was just expected of you. So that was passed on to me and my siblings, and I really internalized it. I never felt like growing up, I never felt like I did good enough. Like an A- was unacceptable. And that can be very detrimental to a child. I mean, I say can be, but I would argue that it is detrimental to a child who is very young, who is looking up to her parents and seeking that like validation of like, am I doing good enough? Is this okay? Like, are you approving of me, and will you love me? Right? So I grew up with not a lot of celebration of my grades, whether it's my grades, whether it's what I'm doing in the house, whether how I'm doing at school, anything, right? It was just expected of us. And for a long time, 32 years to be exact, I always felt like that was because my parents, my dad, did not think I was good enough. That's why he didn't celebrate me. That's what I thought until I had that really healing conversation with him last year, where I finally mustered up the courage to talk to him and share with him how I felt and how that has affected me up to that day. And that was when I learned that it wasn't that he wasn't proud of me. It just wasn't a thing to celebrate, to share, to encourage your child. And nowadays, that just sounds bizarre, right? Like, hello, like if your kid did something well, they are looking up to you. They're looking to you to celebrate with them, be happy for them, and encourage them to do even better next time. And that is the basis of why I wanted to start this club with my siblings. So I call it the celebration thread with my siblings, but with you and my community, I want to call it the Go Me Club. And I want to give credit where credit is due. As of now, I will be calling it a Go Me Club because it sounds fun. You're like, yeah, go me, right? I want to say that I got this name from one of my mentors. Her name's Andrea Crowder, and that's what she does. She did for a year in her business. She really just focused on all the things that she was doing well, and that really built her from the inside out, and her business grew as well as a result. Her relationships got better, right? So she shared that with me and, you know, her community, and I've always wanted to do that, but I was off last year, so I was like, okay, I'll do that when I get back on. And since I do it every Friday with my siblings, I just thought that it would be such an amazing thing for me to just incorporate it into the lives that I'm doing and just spend Fridays with you. Championing, I like saying this word, but I don't think it's a word. Championing. Yeah, championing. I'm actually going to look it up right now. I have my laptop right here because championing. Yeah, championing. It's a word. But it's a hard word to say. So let me not say that word. Cheerleading. Cheerleading and encouraging yourself, right? So this Go Me Club, the whole idea is that you are going to be very cognizant and very conscious of all the things that you are doing well, or that you have done well, or you have tried, or you have attempted and failed, right? And you learn something. It is just to recognize all the things, all the effort that you are putting into whatever you are doing. So I want to come here every Friday and share mine with you so that you are encouraged and you see like, oh, wow, you can actually celebrate that little thing. You can actually celebrate and like cheer yourself on for that little thing. So I want to be an example so that you can start looking around you and seeking for the good, right? Where attention goes, energy flows. So where you are seeking, if you are putting your attention to find the little things that you're doing right, the little wins here and there, your energy will go there and you will look and see the good instead of the bad, right? That's how our reticular activating system works. Whatever we focus on, we see more of. So when you learn to shift that, where you're looking, what you're looking for, if you shift that from the inside out, you will start to see the world through a different lens, a celebratory lens, a fun lens, a life is amazing lens, okay? So, and this is really the reason why I even started doing this with myself. I started with myself first, okay? So that's a beautiful thing is I started this with myself, and it goes back to what I shared yesterday in my live of it's for me, for you, for us. So I started it for me. I started the celebrating for myself because I tend to forget to celebrate all the things that I did well. And when I do something wrong, or quote unquote wrong, or not so well, I am so hard on myself. And it's almost as though I forgot that I've ever done anything correct or right or good, right? So my brain has been so conditioned to look and see the things that are going wrong and to fix it. And that's not bad, but if there's not a balance of also enjoying and celebrating and being grateful for what is going well, then there's an imbalance. And from there, I experienced a life where I did feel like I was not enough. Oh, I'm getting a call. Oh, I will answer it and call you back later, fiance. But yeah, so I started it with myself because I wanted to build that self-trust, that self-celebration. I wanted to be proud of myself first and not expect other people to shower me with love and approval and validation. I wanted to do that for myself. I wanted to start learning, even though it was hard. So what I did was I just opened a note on my phone, and every time I could think of something, I would write it down on my celebration list. And I still call it a celebration list, but at that time, and I think I will still reference it as a celebration or as a Go Meet Club. But I put it on my phone, and every Sunday I put a reminder to go over my celebrations. And on Sunday, when I look at my phone, I'll go over my previous celebrations, but then I will also add any new celebrations that comes to mind that I just experienced. And it starts to build, oh, getting a text. I will answer later. It's starting to build that confidence from the inside out, because the most important person that you need to acknowledge and to see you is you. And so that's where I started. So the Go Meet Club is you celebrating yourself, you being a cheerleader for yourself, you encouraging and supporting yourself, and you building yourself from the inside out. Okay, so I hope that's really clear. And then after that, I started doing with my siblings. So I created a group thread message with all my siblings, and I just shared with them my intention for the group text. And the first few weeks, I was just celebrating alone. Like, my siblings were not contributing, which was fine, right? Because it takes a little bit of while for them as well to get used to celebrating themselves, or like even finding anything, or maybe they're just not used to being open with what they have to share. And so I started doing that with them, and like and a few weeks after, like one of my siblings started to share, and then the next one started to share, and then like now I think I've been doing it for a year now. Yeah, I think it's been a year. Yeah, I've been doing it for a year now, and every Friday, like sometimes I'm not even the one that starts the celebration thread. My siblings come and jump in and they celebrate something, and that just makes me so happy, because the more we build ourselves up first before we and instead of waiting for other people to build us up, the stronger we become, the more personal power we have, and anything that comes from other people is just going to be an extra flow into your cup that is already full. Okay, and so it started with me, and then I extended it to my siblings, and then now I want to extend it to all of you, for you to also join in and create your own Go Me Club, celebration club. And you can do it however you like, but I just find it so valuable to keep track of that. And it's hard at first, if you're not used to it, to be able to remember the good things. So if it helps, like put a reminder at the end of each day for you to name one thing that went well that day, that you are proud of yourself for, just that one for each day. And if it's too much to do it every day, then break it down, right? Like I'm someone who's like, what do you want to get done? And how can we get it done in the most effective way? In terms of how effective for me is like that you will actually do it, right? Not that like the most effective to create the most results. For me, effective means how it will best serve you, because everyone's situation and preferences are different in how they work. So for me, every day was like too much. So I was just doing it once a week, right? So start where you want to start. And this is also a great plug for me to say that if you do struggle with this, that's where I can come in as a coach, as a mentor, to hold you accountable, to check in with you at the end of the day, to see what you did do well that day, what you want to celebrate yourself for. And so, you know, you can use a coach for that kind of stuff, for accountability, for checking in on you, or for you to voice out to someone something good that you did that day, something that you're proud of yourself for. Okay, you gotta build slowly, one at a time, and you will gain momentum, and it will become a muscle, right? It is a muscle that you have to practice, you have to build. So yeah, so I encourage you to do that, and I will be coming here every Friday, not every day, but every Friday, and I will be sharing with you my list so that we can share together. And if you happen to be here live with me, I would love to hear your celebrations, your Go Me celebrations in the comments, okay? And if you're catching the replay, just write it in the comments and I will respond to your celebration, to your accomplishments or your lessons learned. So I have a little list today. I was thinking back, what did I do this week? Like it's Friday, right? And so I was trying to think back, and so I looked at my calendar, and so I made a little list, but I think I would like to start doing it like every other day or something, so I really capture and really embody what I am preaching for you guys, what I'm telling you guys to do. Okay, so during this week, so I'm going from Monday to Friday, the first thing that I wrote down is that I listened to my energy and my body's call for rest. So I had a really busy weekend with family. We did a whole photo shoot, a huge photo shoot that lasted like 3 or 4 hours. And it was just so amazing because I have a big family and we never get to spend all time together, all of us. And so for the first time in like 5 years, we're all together, and it was so amazing. But of course, there was a lot of energy, there was a lot of fun. It was amazing. But then after that, I also went to my sister's place and hung out at her place for 2 days. And then after that, my siblings came over the day after. And so I had nonstop company, and I was not able to be in my own energy for those 4 days. And so my body was really telling me to rest. So I wrote down in my celebration in my Go Me Club that I was like, I listened to the nudge of my body, and I said no to my siblings spending another night because I told them that I needed to rest. So I had advocated for my rest, and I'm very proud of that. And so that's like a go me moment because, you know, I advocated for what my body needed and energetically needed. What was this? Oh yeah, so I also want to celebrate that, like, usually when I go ask people for something, I usually ask in a way of like, oh, like, I don't want to bother you, like, if it's too much of an inconvenience, like, you don't have to do it, right? But when my siblings came over, I wanted, oh, sorry babe, I am on a call. Let me text him really quick so that he stops calling me. Okay. Thank you for waiting. I needed to like make sure he knows that I am here, and I will call him back. Okay, so yeah, so when my siblings came over, we wanted to have a work session together, and my apartment has a clubhouse, which, you know, you can go in and hang out and work, but usually they rent it out. So I went over for the first time, and I said, hey, we want to use that room. And the first guy that talked to me, he was like, oh, I don't know, like, talk to this other lady. So I went to ask the other lady, and the other lady was like, well, we don't get that request often. We don't, you know, nobody really goes in there to work. And I was like, oh, like, I just stood my ground. I like didn't really say, oh, okay, then never mind, because I feel like the past version of me would have said that. But I just stood there, and she's like, oh, well, the heater's broken, so it's really cold in there. And like, I still didn't move. I didn't like take back my desire to work in there. And so after like a little while, which I felt like was kind of unnecessary because I felt like they didn't want us to go in there. But I was just like, you know, like, I moved here, and before I moved here, I asked her if we could use it when we moved here, and she said yes. So I was going to stand on that and be able to use that room. So she eventually opened the room for us, and we were able to work in there. And I'm very proud of that because I usually, you know, would have just felt like I was being too much, and then I would just say, oh, never mind, we'll go work somewhere else, right? So that is something I want to celebrate, and yes, I go me for. I also, this has a lot to do with the apartment, but I also, when we moved in, we never got a carport, and we were, you know, we're supposed to have one. So it's been 2 months, and they haven't given us a carport, and I've already asked them once in person and then once through email, and they still haven't gotten back to us. So I was like, okay, do I want to be that annoying resident and just, you know, bug them, or do I want to just not bug them and hope that they will get to it? But I was like, no, it's my right to have a carport. So I emailed her in the nicest way possible, of course, in a professional way. And right away, she assigned us a carport, and that was that. So I also want to celebrate myself for that as well. I did my first meal prep for this week for myself. I got the idea from my sister, so I am very happy and proud of myself for doing that. Another thing is, I was reminded of my guilt motivation in human design. We have motivations, and mine is guilt. And I recognized that I was experiencing that guilt motivation in the shadow aspect instead of the gift. And so I was operating from a place of guilt, but that was not helpful in terms of the decision that I had to make earlier on this week. So, which reminds me, I need to talk about it next week and share that with you guys. So I got to do some work and some contemplation with my guilt motivation. So I am, go me for that, for just embodying even more of my human design on a daily basis. I love it. Those things just light my sacral up. And then I said, another thing, a Go Me Club. A Go Me item is that I did my first human design reading, official paid human design reading this week with my friend Tess, and we were able to do it and record it on her podcast. And so that will be coming out in the future, near future, I think a week or two. So I'm excited to be able to share that with you, and so you can have an idea of what my readings look like or sound like, and it'll help you really decide if you need that, decide if you want to book a reading for yourself. Because right now, I do have that offering. I just announced today my human design offerings. So definitely check that out. Excuse me. Yeah, so I'm celebrating myself for that. I'm celebrating the launch of my official human design readings on Facebook, on Instagram. I spoke about it on my live yesterday. So if you missed that, I had a whole 31-minute live on it. So all the details are there. Definitely go check that out below. Or if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, it is just, it's day 9, okay? I am celebrating myself for responding to clients with soft and trusting energy and not lacking and clinging energy. So if someone messages me about my offers, in the past, I would get so clingy in a sense of like, oh, I hope they book with me. I hope they like this. Like I was like doing too much, and I felt like that was not good energy. I felt like that repelled my clients in the past. But this week, when people reached out for my readings, I just responded in very receiving, trusting energy that they will do what is most aligned for them in the moment, and trust that that's what's best for me, them, and all of us. So I love that. I go me for going to the gym every day this week so far. I did 1 pull-up earlier in the week, and then I did 2 in the middle of the week. So I'm just so proud of myself because I have never done 2 pull-ups ever in my life. And so I am continuously every week I've been doing 2 pull-ups. So I just want to pat myself on the back for that. My fiance and I have been doing body compositions. We have like a little, I actually have it right here, a little body composition, what do you call these things? Scale? Yeah, scale. And you hold on to the thingies, the electrodes, and it sends like signals into your body, and it measures, all sorts of stuff, such as your like body mass index, your fat percentage, like all these things. And it's just been so motivating. And I have been going down in fat percentage in my body. So I'm, getting like a lot more lean and like getting rid of those fat that is not necessary. And so I'm really celebrating myself because I'm seeing the progress, and it's very motivating. So I never thought that I would like something like that, but I tried it and I love it. And so we're going to keep doing that. And the last thing I want to celebrate and I put in my Go Me Club is that I am learning to lean into faith and more instead of fear. And especially because right now I'm learning it through the program with my mentor Melanie, and in the God Zone, that's the program that I'm in, and it's all about faith, and it's all about being in the God Zone, being in trust, full trust and faith, and choosing that and living and operating from that energy. And it's so powerful, and it is one of the, I feel like this week, because I have been really leaning into that I feel a lot less fear about the future, a lot less anxiety about like what might or might not happen. So I know I have a lot more to do and more to learn and to be more in faith, but I am celebrating myself because I made a scary move this week. But because I had faith, I was able to make that move instead of basing my decision on fear. So I'm like so proud of myself for that as well. And yeah, so those are some of my celebrations, some of my items that I put on my Go Me Club list. So I hope you enjoyed listening to my list, and I would also love to hear your list, or maybe put down a few in the comments, because I would love to read and celebrate and support you and encourage you, and just the small things, right? It's the smallest things. It doesn't have to be a promotion. It doesn't have to be a huge pay. Like I should actually put in here in a little bit that like I'm currently a substitute teacher, and because we got I really don't know why actually, but I didn't work at all this past week, but I got paid like, I think like 24 cents or 34 cents. Yeah, 34 cents or yeah. And I was like so happy because I'm like, hey, like that's 34 more cents in my bank, like I celebrate that, because every money is energy, and every amount of energy that comes in, if it's celebrated, it will be compounded. It will come back tenfold. So I just celebrate that too, just like that 34 cents. Like it's so meaningful. It's so exciting. It's so fun. Like, and I express gratitude for that. And I could definitely put that in my Go Me Club, because it's something that I can celebrate, and like, yay, if I wasn't a substitute, I wouldn't get that amount. And the more I compound my gratitude, the more I know that I've just received, and I believe that, and I have faith in that, and I'm strengthening and building that faith within myself. So that is it for today's live. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this talk about celebrations and building up yourself from the inside out, and by doing the Go Me Club, is going to be very beneficial for you and exciting for you. I will see you for the next celebration club or Go Me Club next Friday. So I will try to, as of right now, do that every Friday, and we can share, and we can just be on here and sharing celebratory, uplifting energy. All right. So thank you. If you have made it this far, let me know in the comments. Say hi. And if you have not checked out my human design offers, definitely do that. You are not going to want to miss out on these amazing offers, at least for Q1, as I shared with my email list. Like, these prices are limited time only, so for the first quarter of 2025. So get on it. Tag someone who needs to have one of those human design readings, and yeah, I just want to help you start 2025 with a bang, and with a huge and deeper understanding of yourself, your energy, how you are, how you be, and yeah, all that beautiful stuff. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow for day 11, back on here. So that is it for now. Have a beautiful rest of your Friday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.